1 boy, 2 girls, 1 murder.
Is that she is dead.
Oh my God.
And she died.
August 2008. Rachel Wade picks up her phone and calls Sarah Ludman's number. She leaves a voicemail. It's filled with threats, with promises, with pure rage.
And I'm guaranteeing you, I'm gonna f***ing murder you. I'm letting you know that.
September 2008, October 2008, November 2008, December 2008. Voicemail after voicemail, confrontation after confrontation. Rachel shows up at Applebee's to taunt her. Sarah drives past Rachel's apartment honking her horn. 2 girls locked in a spiral. Neither one can stop. Neither one wants to stop. 8 months, 8 full months. Rachel Wade promised to kill Sarah Ludman. 8 months of obsession. 8 months of a knife sitting in a drawer, waiting. And then, April 15th, 2009, on a Tuesday night, in a quiet parking lot in Pinellas Park, Florida, Rachel Wade stopped waiting. She pulled the knife from her purse. She ran towards Sarah's minivan, and in less than 5 seconds, it was over. Sarah Ludman was stabbed twice, once in the shoulder, once in the chest.
On April night, they would meet for just 5 seconds. 5 seconds that would alter the course of their lives forever.
The blade went straight through her ribs, straight into her heart. By 2:20 a.m. on April 15th, 2009, she was pronounced dead at Northside Hospital. This is the story of Sarah Ludman.
You're in Pinellas Park. Okay, what happened? Rachel! Just found her.
2 girls, 2 blonde girls living in the same quiet corner of Florida. Same age, same high school, both with families who loved them. Let me tell you about Sarah first. Sarah Rose Ludman was born on December 7th, 1990. 18 years old when this story begins. An ordinary high school senior who liked movies, liked the beach, and had her whole life stretched out ahead of her. She had supportive parents, her father, Charles, and her mother, Gay, the kind of family that showed up, that noticed when something was wrong. And then there was Rachel. Rachel Marie Wade was born on February 27th, 1990. 19 years old by the time this story ends. She worked as a waitress at Applebee's, the kind of place where you can smell the fryer grease on your clothes when you clock out. She wore the uniform, she smiled at customers, but behind that smile, something was different about Rachel. Neither girl knew that in the summer of 2007, a boy would walk into their lives and set them on a collision course. His name was Joshua Camacho, 19 years old, tattooed, dark eyes, the kind of face that knew how to smile in a way that made girls feel chosen. He had charm, a smoothness to his voice, but Joshua had no car, no job, no real direction. He lived in his sister's apartment in Pinellas Park. What he did have was access to girls' hearts. Sarah met Josh first. She didn't have much experience with boys. She was open, ready to believe someone could love her. Josh knew exactly what he was doing. He whispered promises. He made her feel like the only girl in the world. Here's what Sarah didn't know. Rachel Wade and Joshua Camacho had a history. They had dated before, and Rachel was not ready to let him go. By June 2008, the rivalry had already begun. But it didn't start with screaming in the streets. It started online, on MySpace. MySpace was where teenage drama played out back then, where you curated your image, where you posted pictures with your boyfriend for the world to see. Rachel watched as Sarah posted photos of herself with Josh at the beach, holding his hand. The kind of photos that say without words, "He's mine." And Rachel started firing back. The insults came first, then the hostility. Then Rachel found Sarah's phone number, and Rachel started leaving voicemails. August 29th, 2008. Sarah had posted a new photo on MySpace, her and Josh at the beach. They looked happy. Rachel saw it and Rachel called.
Please tell me, Sarah, why you would be dumb enough to put a brand new picture of you and Josh at the beach. Seriously, I told you to watch him back and not to chill with him, and I'm guaranteeing you I'm no murder you. I'm letting you know that now, because you know what? Josh might have played me, but bitch, I'm gonna play your ass out too. Watch. You're a fat bitch, and I'm gonna kill you. I swear on my life.
A girl recording a voicemail promising to murder another girl over a boy with no car, no job, nothing. But there were more voicemails. Message after message, Rachel escalated. She insulted Sarah's appearance. She bragged about her own independence. She accused Sarah of things. She threatened her. The messages showed someone thinking about Sarah constantly. Someone who couldn't stop herself, who didn't want to stop herself.
It's so funny how you talk and you want to sit there and say that my man was at your house.
The voicemails were a window into Rachel's mind, and what that window showed was fixation, obsession, rage that had no off switch. But Sarah wasn't innocent in this either. Sarah began to taunt Rachel in return, not with voicemails, but in person, with intention. One night, Sarah and her friends drove to a parking lot and sprayed silly string all over a car belonging to Rachel's friend. Silly string, the kind of thing you use at birthday parties. But the message was clear. We're not afraid of you. We're mocking you. Police records from this period are filled with incident reports. 6 times officers spoke to Sarah. 6 times in the first 6 months of her relationship with Joshua Camacho because of confrontations. With him, with Rachel, the drama was everywhere. It was becoming the gravitational center of both of their lives. On July 2nd, 2008, Sarah finally confronted Joshua about his cheating, and Joshua mistreated her, left bruises on her body. But Sarah didn't press charges. She convinced herself it was a one-time thing, that she had provoked him, that if she was more careful, more perfect, it wouldn't happen again. She was wrong. Joshua Camacho wasn't just cheating on Sarah with Rachel. There were others, other girls. Investigators would later call it a love hexagon, a tangled web of relationships he was bouncing between. He told Sarah what to wear. He controlled who she could see. He held a gun to Rachel's head at one point and told her he would kill her if she tried to leave him. He was a predator, but the girls didn't see it that way. They saw each other as the enemy, and he loved the power of it, the control. By early 2009, the situation had spiraled completely out of control. Rachel wasn't just thinking about hurting Sarah anymore. She was planning. She was carrying a knife. A steak knife from her kitchen drawer, 6 inches long, sharp. She would pull it out late at night and feel the weight of it, the balance, the way the handle fit in her palm. And she would imagine, what would it feel like? She would look at Sarah's pictures online, Sarah holding Josh's hand, Sarah at the beach, Sarah smiling, Sarah living the life Rachel thought should have been hers. And something inside Rachel broke. The obsession was complete. Meanwhile, Sarah was escalating too, driving past Rachel's apartment, honking her horn, making sure Rachel knew that Josh had chosen her. The two girls fed each other's anger, amplified each other's rage, and Joshua Camacho sat in the middle, watching, enjoying the attention, the power, the knowledge that two girls would literally fight for him. Tuesday night, April 14th, 2009. Rachel Wade was alone in her apartment, waiting for Joshua to call. He didn't, because Joshua was with Sarah at his sister's house, watching movies, playing video games, ordinary things, the kind of moments people take for granted until they're gone forever. At some point that evening, Rachel went outside to walk her dog, and that's when she heard it. A car horn, aggressive, laying on it, and a voice screaming from the window of a green minivan, "Stay away from my man." Sarah was driving past Rachel's apartment, honking, yelling, making sure Rachel knew that Joshua Camacho was with her, that he had chosen her. Rachel felt something crack inside her chest, not just anger, humiliation. The knowledge that the boy she had been obsessing over for months had chosen the girl she hated. Rachel went back inside. She walked to the kitchen. She opened the drawer where she kept the knives. She put the steak knife in her purse. Then she texted Joshua. "Now I know why you're not talking to me." He didn't respond, so she texted again. "I'm going to stab you and your Mexican boyfriend." A direct threat, but Rachel wasn't planning to stab Joshua. Sarah was her target. Sarah was the one she hated. Sarah was the one who had taken what was hers. She drove to her old boyfriend Javier Leboy's house and waited outside. Standing on the grass, smoking a cigarette, her hand inside her purse touching the knife. And then she heard it. The green minivan, pulling up to the curb. Sarah at the wheel. Her friends Jillica Smith and another girl were with her. They had come to confront Rachel, to make sure she understood. Sarah probably expected Rachel to run, to back down. Sarah was wrong.
A perfect storm. That's how many described it. Two teenage girls fall hard for the same guy.
According to witnesses, what happened next happened very fast. Rachel didn't hesitate. She ran towards Sarah. She raised the knife. The first stab caught Sarah in the shoulder. The impact sent her backward. The second stab went straight into Sarah's chest. It pierced her ribs. It found her heart. The blade hit with such force that it bent. Sarah made it back to the minivan. Her hands were over her chest, blood pouring between her fingers. And there, in that minivan, with the stereo still playing, with her friends screaming, Sarah Ludman reached for her phone. She called Joshua. "Josh," she gasped. "Josh, Rachel stabbed me." Then she collapsed. Paramedics raced to Northside Hospital. The doctors tried. The wound was severe. The blade had done tremendous damage to her heart. The internal bleeding was too much. At 2:20 a.m. on April 15, 2009, Sarah Rose Ludman was pronounced dead. She was 18 years old.
You're in Pinellas Park. Okay, what happened? Rachel! Just stabbed her.
Back at the scene, Rachel Wade was sitting on a bench outside Javier's house, smoking a cigarette, calm, almost serene. When a police officer approached and asked what happened, Rachel said 2 words: "I'm done." The knife was found on a nearby roof where Rachel had thrown it. She was arrested on the spot, charged with second-degree murder. No bond. Rachel's trial began in July 2010. The prosecution played those voicemails. The jury sat in silence as they heard Rachel's voice, angry, articulate, precise, promising to kill Sarah. When the recording played in court, Rachel broke down crying. She covered her face with her hands. The girl who had threatened, the girl who had stabbed, the girl who had watched another girl die. She was crying. Prosecutors also presented the physical evidence. The knife blade, bent from the force of the blow. No defensive wounds on Sarah's body. No scratches, no bruises, no sign that she had fought back. Sarah Ludman was defenseless. Rachel's attorney argued self-defense, that Sarah had shown up that night to jump Rachel, that months of harassment had driven her to it. The jury deliberated for less than 3 hours. They didn't believe it. On July 23, 2010, Rachel Wade was found guilty of second-degree murder. On September 4, 2010, Judge Joseph A. Ballone handed down the sentence, 27 years in prison. The judge said from the bench that Rachel Wade had caused a lot of pain. Rachel, 20 years old at sentencing, would be in her mid-40s before she could hope for parole. Her 20s, her 30s, Her early 40s, gone. Sarah Ludman never got to graduate from high school, never walked across a stage in a cap and gown while her parents cheered. She never went to prom, never went to college, never got to figure out who she wanted to be. She never fell in love, really fell in love, with anyone. Never had a relationship that wasn't defined by someone else's manipulation. She was 18 years old, and she never lived past that. Joshua Camacho, the boy they both fought over, he disappeared from the public record after Sarah's death. He refused to go to the hospital when he heard she had been stabbed. He cut off contact with law enforcement. He never made a statement. He got to walk away. He was never held accountable for the mistreatment, for the manipulation, for the way he pitted two girls against each other like gladiators in an arena. The hardest part of a case like this is that everyone lost something. Sarah lost her life. Everything, her entire future, erased in a moment of violence. Rachel lost her freedom, the best years of her life. She became a murderer in an instant, and she will spend decades paying for that moment. And Joshua Camacho lost whatever it is inside a person that makes them capable of caring about another human being. The evidence in this case is clear. A girl with a knife who promised to kill someone and followed through on that promise. And a girl who was defenseless when she died. The justice system said that Rachel Wade killed Sarah Ludman. For that, Rachel Wade would spend 27 years in prison. It's not enough to bring Sarah back. Nothing ever could be. But it is what the law says she deserves. This case has always stayed with me, because it's a story about how quickly things can spiral, how jealousy transforms into something violent, into something fatal. Sarah Ludman and Rachel Wade were both victims of a boy who knew exactly how to manipulate them, who pitted them against each other, who fed their insecurity and jealousy and doubt. But Sarah was the ultimate victim because she paid with her life. So I want to ask you, was the verdict just? Do you think Rachel Wade deserves to be released someday? Drop your theories in the comments. Tell me what you think. Tell me what this case makes you feel. And if you haven't subscribed yet, do that right now, because we tell stories that matter. Until then, stay safe out there, and remember, the choices you make in moments of anger and jealousy can change your life forever. Choose wisely.